Good morning, everybody. I hope we're going to make some money. I hope you got your coffees and you're ready to go. So about a month ago, Boris Johnson resigns as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He's part of the Conservative Party. And they ended up hiring somebody called Liz Truss. Now, I'm not going to say that I know everything about UK politics, and honestly, I'm starting to follow it a lot more recently because I'm betting for or against the pound, as well as the euro and the US dollar. So it's very important for me to understand what's happening with geopolitical situations all around the world. And Liz Truss comes into power right when the Queen passes away. All the news outlets, all the media, nobody pays attention to Liz Truss, and they're just paying attention to the Queen passing away. After around 10 days of the Queen passing away, they start focusing on Liz Truss. And Liz Truss, like all good politicians, comes out with a crazy policy. And what politicians do is when they come into power, or especially if they come in taking over somebody's spot, they try to make an emphasis. They try to make an oomph so that they're somehow elected in the next cycle. And she comes up with this crazy tax cut. And they're saying that the UK is a nation of entrepreneurs. So we're going to make it easier to grow. And the tax cuts had some things like the maximum personal income tax, instead of 45%, which they had, they're going to reduce that to 40%. The corporate taxes were supposed to go up to 25%. They kept it at 19%. They nixed that. You were supposed to contribute more money to the national healthcare system. I think like an extra 1.25% or 1.5%, both you and your business. They nixed that. And a bunch of other tax incentives. Also, a shit ton of energy subsidies for the whole nation because energy is super expensive, and like maximum spending for energy. So then a lot of people are like, well, where's the money supposed to come from? And they said that because they're lowering taxes, this is going to increase productivity in the country. Now, they did this at a really, really bad time. If you do this in good times, it would make sense. But you're doing this at a time where you shouldn't be putting more money in the economy. You want to slow down the economy. You don't want to stimulate the economy. And she got a lot of backlash from that. When she said that, the British pound started falling like crazy. So then the Bank of England said, hey, we're going to start purchasing bonds, especially risky bonds or leveraged bonds. And we will purchase all bonds up until today. Today was the last day. And they started shoring up the economy. The problem is, what does this do? Again, money printer. It puts money into the economy. Instead of offloading their assets, they're onloading their assets. So then this was seen as a long-term solution, kind of like what the Fed did here, unlimited money. And they said, no, this is not unlimited money. It stops today. And if that happens, that's probably going to be good, except it's probably going to be bad in the short term. Anyways, about a week ago, Liz Truss backtracks, U-turns, and she says, okay, everything's going to stay the same, except instead of nixing the 45% personal income tax, we're going to leave the maximum 45% personal income tax. But everything else is going to stay the same, and there will be no more U-turns. This is an article from this morning. I've been following this article or this news for the last couple of days. British Prime Minister Liz Truss fires Finance Minister Kwasi Kwarteng. She's going to end up blaming Kwasi for everything. It was his idea. All of this was him, blah, 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 blah. She's trying to save herself. That's exactly what politicians end up doing. And in order to save yourself, you need to sacrifice. In order to save the king, you need to sacrifice a pawn. Does that make sense? In order for the queen to live, a knight must fall. It is what it is. Breaking. British Finance Minister Kwasi Kwarteng was fired on Friday morning, a senior source inside Downing Street confirmed to CNN. Embattled UK Prime Minister Liz Truss will hold a news conference on Friday as she seeks to calm market turmoil and mutinous lawmakers in her own party. The disastrous financial plan of Truss and Kwarteng derailed UK markets, hit the value of the pound, and drawn stern warnings from global economic agencies. Again, it says Kwasi Kwarteng is the second shortest serving UK chancellor on record. Wow. This is the 10-year bond from the United Kingdoms. The 10-year means that you're going to get a guaranteed return on your money. I don't know how it is over there, but with the treasuries here, you get paid, I believe, every 6 months. And then at completion, at the due date, after 10 years, you get all your money back. And then there's some tax incentives. So the way it works is this. If your 10-year bond is really high, that means that you believe that inflation is going to be high in 10 years. If your 10-year bond is going down, that means the markets believe that in 10 years, your inflation is going to go down. So you can see right around here, right around September 20th, right when they came out with this policy, the 10-year bond jumped from around 3.2% all the way to around 4.5%. And everybody started getting worried. Why? If you're getting 4.5% on your money guaranteed from the government, you're not going to be investing anywhere else. The thing is, when this goes up, that means that you believe inflation is going to be in your country for a long time. And what happens? You do a flight to safety from your country. Where's a flight to safety? You start investing into the US dollar. And that's why the pound starts going down and the dollar starts going up. That's the way it starts working. As inflation is perceived to go up in your own country, you're going to go to a country where they're fighting inflation as best as possible. Not to say Jerome Powell is doing a good job and the Federal Reserve is doing a good job. It's just perceived that they're going to be tougher on the situation and more hawkish on the situation. And they're going to get the job done as opposed to UK with this new tax plan. And now they're trying to get this down. And as you can see, all of a sudden, it's now down to 4%. Why? They believe that now they're going to get rid of this plan. They're going to do a U-turn on their tax plan. And inflation is going to go down over the next 10 years. Now, this is a yield curve. This is current in black, and this is just a year ago. And you could see the huge, huge difference. On a 10-year, you barely got anything, and now you're getting 4% on your money. This is the British pound. As you can see, the British pound, right around the same time that their interest rates for the 10-year went up, right when they announced this plan, the British pound tanked. The British pound went from around 114 per every dollar, and then it went to like 106, which is really, really low. Now the British pound is trading at 112 for the dollar. It's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen. If you guys want to trade the British pound, whether you want to hold shares in it, whether you think it's going to go up or whether you think it's going to go down, the ticker symbol is FXB, Foreign Exchange British Pound. If you want to do a euro, it's FXE. And if you want to do the United States dollar, it's UUP. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm not telling you to sell. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just trying to broaden your horizons and tell you that there are different ways to invest in this type of market. Investing in individual stocks is great, but right now there's so much volatility. It's interesting to try to predict what's happening in the entire economy. Now, the UK inflation report is going to come out on Wednesday. The UK inflation is right around 10%. As bad as we have it here, it's a lot worse there. And it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen in the next inflation report. Thank you so much. Please give me the likes, shares, and subscribe. I hope that this is good for my UK or European subscribers and you guys are paying attention. I'm going to try to cover the live later when she's speaking, or at least give you the updates and the news about what she's saying. But I foresee she's going to blame Kwasi for all of this. They're going to U-turn on the policy and they're going to try to shore up the British pound. I think this is going to work in a little bit, but I also believe that they're going to flip-flop so much that it shows that they don't know what the F they're doing. And in the short term, it's going to shore up the pound. But in the long term, I think the pound is not going to go up like they want it to go back. Thank you so much. Have a great day. None of this is financial advice, purely entertainment and education at best. And I hope you guys make some money today. Bye-bye.